Hey everybody, welcome back to AQUATICO. Hope you're having a sweet day today. We had a couple of, well, not a couple of, we had a bunch of people show up, you know, new colonists and stuff, so I went ahead and added 4 new homes in this dome. I also added a shrine right here too. These decorations, they're all being the same size and stuff, so until they change, I'm going to exploit that, and I've got 2 of them right next to each other here. I have no idea if that's helping me at all, but here they are. And the entrances are on top of each other. They overlap, and that's still fine. The game allows you to do that, so we are going to do that now. We still have this dome over here, and then we've got, 2 spare spaces here to expand. So lots and lots of room here to expand, which is kind of nice. I also wanted to show you something that's happening down here, right? Now, I had some people point out... My God, look at these models. Can we just take a second and look at the building models? I like to do that in a lot of games because this one here is kind of a sleeper. You don't really realize it, but there's a lot of intricate details here. Like, they didn't need to make this move, but they did, you know? Stuff like that, right? Like, look at this. There's these little lights on the top of here. Yeah? And then I thought this was cool too. Again, they didn't need to make these move, but they did. Look at the iron mine, though. I think this thing is awesome. Just take a look at all the moving parts that are happening in here. Again, I really want to hear the buildings making noise. I want to hear sounds from the structures way more than music. But even if I turn the music down, the sounds are too quiet. So that's my feedback for the devs. That's the only feedback I have at the moment, given that this is an alpha. So is I really want more noise from these buildings. Because they're really well done. I just think they need more, more presence. You need to feel it. Anyway, somebody pointed out to me that research, back all the way over here, plastification combo. Says the plastic factory in proximity to the drone factory gains 10%. My brain, in its fantastical glory and how I don't read, thought that I just read that bottom part. Drone factory gains 10% production bonus. I don't know, I just omitted the top part because clearly that's not important, right? In any case, this is giving a boost of plastic. So I went ahead over here and I was taking a look at my plastic factories. And I'm seeing this one has production 70%, which is nice. This is without that final boost. And then I'm seeing this one is fully boosted and it's at 60%. And I'm kind of like, what's going on with that? Well, I think it's because this one is close to this. Right? It's close enough to the drone factory to get that extra bump to where this one is not. And unfortunately, I can't fit a drone anywhere in this area close enough. But on this side, this one is going to get the boost. And it's because I've added a new drone factory here. So we're going to be able to make even more drones now. I've added a new sponge collector here and maxed it out so we can have more sponges because we were running low on that. The more plastics and stuff we produce, the bigger an issue that's going to be. We'll go ahead and hit optimization on that and then both upgrades on this machine here just to max that out. So this is getting a 90% production boost now in plastic, which is just insane. You can see this one's way better than this one, right? And I can't fit one of these in this space. It might look like it, but it won't fit. It's actually red on this side and this side if I try to put it in here. So in any case, it doesn't matter. It's a little tiny thing, big deal. On the grand scheme of things, when we have this whole thing fully loaded, if I'm just barely short on plastic, then you can chew me out for that, okay? Okay. In any case, today, what I'd like to do is start thinking about the future. And I also want to give these guys some furnishings because they got the houses and that's fine, but they don't have, any furniture in these houses, and that's a problem. So today what I'd like to do, I'm going to start with the research tree here. I would like to go in and get a decoration factory started for research. And I think we already had the furniture factory done. So we're going to get decorations and factory. We're going to make life more pleasant underwater. Okay. We're going to start with the furniture factory. I think it was going to be here. But now I'm trying to figure out if that's the best place for it. And I would really like to know how big the decoration factory is first. It looks like it's a fairly square building, to where this one is also fairly square. So I think it'll probably fit next to this. And So what I'd like to maybe do is just kind of go maybe like this with it. I want to leave enough room for something on this side though. And now I'm thinking if I was to go into this direction, I'd leave enough room for something to be over here if I wanted it, you know? So I'd like to see how big that decorations factory is before I decide where to put furniture, because these two buildings have an interior combo to where the furniture factory will gain 10% production bonus if it's in proximity to the decoration factory. See, I got it right that time. So there is that too. Another thing I need to do is I need to make sure that we're producing enough medicine. Now, the medicine is going up, and we're not using any, so I think we are producing enough medicine. But increasing how much seaweed we produce is going to really ensure that we are. And I think until we start using medicine, I'm really not going to bother with creating seaweed on both of these farms. I think I'm going to maybe focus it on the sea cucumber because, like, we do have some. And we are using some, but we're not producing any. You see how those numbers work? 44, 0, and 38 on sea cucumber. So 44 is what we have, 0 is what we're producing every month, and then 38 is what we're consuming, at least what we consumed last month, if you will. So I'd like to get that 0 to not be 0 anymore. I also want to figure out how the hell to get muscles. Not on my arms. I mean, I know how to do that. I'm just lazy. But I mean like the muscles you eat, you see? 0, 0, 0. I need to figure out how to do that, and I don't know how to do that because I figured these little gatherers and stuff would do it. Different seafood depending on the season, and we can also expand that. And then, you know, the sponge collectors and stuff are just this huge radius. So yeah, I also added another gatherer here only because it would get a bonus being in range of this guy. So I'm going to add that too, just to give us even more food, so we don't have to worry about food at all, you know. Definitely don't want to have to worry about that. And then we're completely out of batteries, so I want to look at that too. And you know, I think this production boost would be a good idea to just help with that, but honestly, another battery factory is probably a better fit. And I do want to see, is there any way to tell? I wish there was a way to tell where the bonus is coming from. A breakdown of that would be super helpful in placing things, because otherwise the only way I can tell is by going in here and just kind of scrolling back and seeing, hey, which one is it, right? And it's not a very good user experience to have to just go into the tech tree to see what you did in the past. It would be really nice if my hover on a certain productivity bonus would break down exactly why that bonus exists. So that would be, I guess, another idea for the future there. More information to the player, right? It's always better to give the player more information. You know, and drones going faster would be a good idea too. I'm gonna pop that right after the existing research is done. But I do think we just need another battery factory. So if it fits here, we'll put it here. So battery factory. Where are you, battery factory? Oh, at the very end, yeah. All right, so operated by drones, upkeep is electricity, we have it, and plastics, I think we're probably making enough. It doesn't fit here. Okay, so I could put it back here. It does look like it can put it right behind this, and I'm not opposed to just sticking it back here. I think that's probably okay. There is enough room right in front of that walking path, as long as I don't put a pipe right there, and so I won't put a pipe there. I don't know if this is in proximity to anything that's going to give it a bonus, though. And that's what I was really trying to find out, is whether or not I get bonuses for this. I guess I could just place it right here, but then there goes my furniture idea, right? Maybe the furniture factory and stuff can go over here. I still want to tap into this for oil, so I think that's probably a no-go. It could also go over here, which wouldn't be such a bad deal because I'm going to end up having a dome over here anyway, because we're going to end up expanding, and we're going to need another set of domes over here. So, I mean, furniture is going to have to go between both domes. So maybe that's where I think that's where it's going to be. Let's go ahead and lock that in as a decision. We're going to go ahead and do that. So we'll go ahead and have this be, I think, right up on this. Kind of like this. Nice and tight. Maybe we'll leave one gap, but that's it. My only concern about this is that I've now really not left any room to place anything here. So I would need something only like very small to go in this area. And the smallest thing I can think of is a depot, and it does not, I mean, it does fit, but it's super tight. I don't think it fits. I don't call that fitting. So, like, that's my dilemma right now. Is like I don't want to block, but I may have to if I want to expand this because batteries are important, right? Now it says we have 207. Now what just happened there? What just? Oh, you know what might have happened? I told this to sell batteries, but no, I told this to sell batteries a while ago, so that can't be it. Yeah, I don't know. Now we have 207 batteries and we're totally fine. So, okay. It says we are producing 540 a year. And if we're producing 540 a year and we're using 55 a month, then we do not have enough production to keep up. So that's just flat. And you can see it month in use. So we are actually using them. So yeah, I'll need another factory unless I can get this. 60% would be probably what tips us over the edge. But I need electronics for that. How do we create electronics? Electronics are maybe basic production? Nope. Material budgeting. No. Ooh, what's this? Consumption of sponge, iron, uranium, quartz, stone, sand, and gold. There's some new resources there that I have not looked at yet. Have to look at that too. Material production, jewelry, school influence. Wow, I don't see anything related to electronics in this. So I'm not sure if that's in the game yet. Unless I'm just blind as a bat. I mean, electronics, lots of things are electronics here, so I would think that I already have the ability to create those. But glass, concrete, quartz. I don't even see electronics up here in the top bar. So I'm gonna maybe take a guess and say it's not implemented yet in the game. I mean, it's just not appearing anywhere. So what about production buildings? Is there anything like electronics production? Anything like that? Gold mine, micro circuitry factory. Aha! Production electronics. Wow, that's really late game. Okay, so this doesn't happen until very late game. Unless I trade for it. Hey. Can we buy it? Here it is. Just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's so cheap. 8 is all it takes. Late game stuff. I'm gonna take a few. Let's get like 30 of it. You know? Just buy it. And then we'll do the speed up and trade volume thing. Boom. Make it faster. Okay. We'll upgrade this, and we'll see if that puts us over the mark for now, and then we can adjust later. Okay? So, I'm looking at my research. I'm kind of trying to... honestly, I was kind of delaying to get this done. So, decoration factory's done. So is furniture factory. So, we're going to go ahead and let's just get a global improvement to their production really quick, and then we'll check out how big these buildings are. So I want decoration factory is about here. I do wish that there was a planning mode of some kind implemented. That way I could lay out how big I want this without any cost. But I suppose pausing the game is the same. Just pause the game and that does basically the same thing. So if I was to go like this, can I fit the furniture factory? Oh my god, I can. Right there. That's what I want. Bitchin'. That's exactly what I was looking for. Right next to each other. And this creates... there's enough room to run here. There should be, anyway. Enough room to move around here. Yeah, see, there's a gap right there. So they can get through there. They can get through here. That's beautiful. And then we just take our infrastructure. And I could go across the front. I could. I don't think I'm going to, though. Well, it looks like I have to because I can't go across this. Yeah, I have to go this way. But I'm hoping it doesn't block movement. This may not be a good idea after all. We will see. There and there, okay? Okay, so there is... whoops, extra click happened. That. A little bit of an extra click. But there we go. Okay. There's our 2 factories to make this happen. Now I am curious now. If I was to slam you all the way up against this instead, I'd be able to get another battery factory in here, wouldn't I? Hang on. The battery factory needs to be connected to the pipeline anyway, but then basically I'm trying to remove the problem of having this pipe under here, but it doesn't seem like it's that big of a problem anyway. Yeah, they are kind of just going underneath here. I think I'm content with this. I'm content with this placement. That's fine. And then we'll put the battery factory back here. It does look like it would have worked out, you know? It would have been completely fine. This battery factory, though, getting this connected is going to be a challenge. And I think it will look better if I change it. If I change my mind one more time, I think this will look better, actually. Let me get rid of this. And we're going to dial this back. And I'll show you what I mean by looking better. So we're going to take the battery factory. We're going to put it right up against this. We're going to leave a gap about like here. I think it could just, I just want to have more mobility through here, right? So if I put you kind of like this, I know it's kind of staggered. Now I don't know if I have enough room, so let me check. Furniture factory here. Yeah, there's enough room for this. Well, yes and no. There's enough room for it, yes and no. Because I do have to go back to back over here. I can also use this space, though. Yeah, let's just use this space. So we'll say that the furniture factory is here. And then the decoration factory can be next to it right here. Oh boy, that's so... it needs to be switched around. This is the bigger building. Yeah, the bigger building needs to go on the left. Decoration factory should go here. It leaves enough room on this side to go path through here, which is what was important. And then on this side, we put the furniture factory because it's the smaller building. Now it all makes sense. Okay, so this should work better. This allows me to get all of them in there, plus leave this open for travel. I'm digging that. Let's do that instead. I think it's probably going to be a little bit cleaner. And then we have this pipe running essentially straight through the middle here, like that. And then it can kind of stop right about here. Go there, there, and here. Now everything is connected just like that. That will work a lot better. It's going to allow us to create decorations, going to create furniture, going to create whatever, yeah, decorations and furniture, plus more batteries, which is pretty good. We have 52 drones. If I take a look at my jobs board, we have 9 basic workers, which is good. We want to keep that open. We also have 5 spare drones, pretty good. We can go ahead and add optimizations and performance boosts to these buildings and allow an extra drone to be working here if they want to. But this is already going to produce well over the battery quota that we need. So we are going to have more batteries than we need as of now, which is great. And then the furniture factory is almost operational. We are low on plastic because I just spent all of them. That's it, though. It's just because I spent them. If you let this run without building any buildings, this plastic number goes up very quickly. Research is now done, so we should see stuff happening. I forgot what we researched. It was the thing over here, not the drone contribution. Oh, where did it go? This is what happens if you don't get enough sleep. Basic production. Yeah, global improvement that increases the production of basic items by 10%. Clothes, furniture, decorations, all increased by 10%. Now we'll do the interior combo, which will get the furniture factory another 10% production bonus. So there's that. As soon as this is built, which needs 50 tools. We almost have 50 tools. So that'll be another thing that's quite easy to do. I think my microphone is too loud today. Maybe I need to talk quieter. I oftentimes think that it's not loud enough because I kind of try to keep the and this is sort of a behind the scenes video creation monologue, if you will, but I usually try to keep my the input volume on the microphone quite low, and then just speak into it, and that greatly reduces the background noise that you ever hear in the house, because I have kids that are constantly here. However, I think I have it too loud today, so perhaps I can speak more calmly. Perhaps we can have a more laid-back approach. What do you think, huh? Let me know in the comments. Would you rather I speak like this? It's very therapeutic, although now you're probably hearing bang, bang, bang. I should turn it down just a little bit, but I'm not going to do it today. But well, I'll look at it later. It's fine. So sponges are up. Looks good. This is going to change. And then I'm just waiting on the tools. So let me let this run for a little bit. So I want to see the impacts that this is going to have, because having furniture, I think, should allow... Hello, leaky pipeline that takes like nothing to fix. Done. Malfunction rate 38%. Percentage rate at which the malfunctions increases. The higher the amount of output from this socket, the higher the network's need for output, the greater the rate. Okay, so... Wait a minute. Can I change the color of the pipe? Does it have to be red? Hollow markers color, all buildings. Crude oil buildings. Oh, okay, these are like just things that are connected to it. It's putting a little outline around them. I can change the color of everything else. What if I wanted a really bright yellow pipe? Can't I do that? I actually like the yellow for the buildings. Initially, I thought this is just silly, but I'm going to make this big yellow thing. But I kind of like it. It makes it stand out. They're easier to see. They're kind of bright. You know? Research is completed, so this interior combo should be... We should be hauling it. As soon as that building is done, we're going to be good. And I think... Let's allow the drones to go faster for a while. I'm almost ready to go into the next tier of buildings and research. We are going to need to expand the raw resources that we're gathering in order to support that. You can see that we're not producing enough clothes anymore. So let me take a look at this really quick. We'll go to production boost and expand the work slots. And we'll see if that changes anything. We're currently consuming 31. We were producing 24. So like we weren't that far back. Let's see if that changes anything. But we are probably going to need more, and it'll most likely will go over here, and then we can add for more houses and things like that. But again, we are going to need more domes, and I've been thinking about where I want to place it, and I think it's going to be right about like this. So the domes sort of merge into each other, so to speak, like right here. And I think this is an excellent place to place another dome. It's just to kind of link these up like this. I wish it could be right here because that looks cleanest, but it kind of demands that I get a little further away from it. But I think this is where I'm going to put this other dome. And we're going to pause this really quick so that I don't end up using it. But they are going to clear the sponges and stuff away from this anyway. So this will be where our second civilization is. We'll probably want to have decorations and all sorts of stuff over here. We're going to need production over here, of course. And we're going to need more oil and everything else to keep it all keep it warm. That said, I do have spare fuel right now. And if I could just maybe get a gap. Any gap at all? No gaps here, no gaps here, not even a gap over here. Okay, so this isn't gonna merge as cleanly as I would have liked. Yeah, that's gonna be a problem. I could scoot this back. It's a problem because I can't go across this yellow part, so I'm not able to take the pipe. Well, hang on. Now, that'll work. Right here, I can do it here. Yeah, we can do it like this. Not as clean as it could have been, but here it is. And then this pipe goes all the way out this direction and will eventually end up merging and popping in right there like that. So we do get it connected to the network after all. Good. It might do us some good to have these systems separated, though, if you think about it. Because if the pipe network getting longer means that it has more chance to fail, although I think it's just the sockets that fail. So it's about, yeah, so like there's a lot of output on this particular socket. And this one, yeah, okay, so it's not the pipeline itself. It's just how much stuff is being pushed out of a socket. All right, that's better, actually. I thought it might have been like Surviving Mars, where the more you have on the network, the worse it is. It looks to me like I'm not producing nearly enough tools. So we're going to need to create more tools. And I can think of one great place over by the iron mine where we could add to our tool-making prowess. Our tool-making ventures could go over here near the... well, it's kind of encroaching on the sponge right now, but if I put it right here, that does, you know, put it right next to the iron mine. Good place for a tool factory, as far as I'm aware anyway. That was the best place to put it. So we're gonna need a pipe that goes across this whole thing. So right down the middle, all the way over, and park your... Oh, wrong spot. Oh, messed it up. Game's being mean to me. All right, get rid of this. You know what? Why don't we do it from the other side? And that way we can't get it wrong. Yeah. Start it here and go right up the middle, straight pipe to here. Done. Okay. And that will connect the... Well, now hang on. Can I just... I left a gap here. I did. I left a gap here for kind of this purpose. Let's just come off this part then. I wasted all these resources, didn't I? I'm getting a refund. I don't know if it's a full refund. I wasn't paying attention. Let's see. I get 22 credits and 5 plastic to go to where basically the tip of this nose and then in one, right? So 25, 20, 22, or is it 20? I think it's 20. 20 and 5? 20 and 5. Okay. Let's see if we get a full refund here. So it would have been from the tip of this nose and then in one. So 44, 40 and 10. Okay, it's probably 40 and 10. So we're getting half back. Great. I was like wasting half my money. Okay, perfect. Good to know. Decorations coming up. Here we go. I have no idea what this really does for me in terms of like its implications for the game. Like, do I actually give them these things, or does this only aid in their happiness? Because if it's just for their happiness, you know, like they're already happy. So am I just wasting my time with this? I don't know. We have 5 empty houses. We got influence points. Increase the maximum influence by researching subsurface base upgrades. I did actually put in the engineer income tax, by the way. So that's the thing that's already done. And makes us able to build a purification system that provides drinkable water. Again, I don't see that as a problem already. You know? Nothing in the game is telling me that I have a problem with drinkable water right now. But... you know, maybe that's just something that's there, and then they'll implement stuff like that later, you know? So let's go ahead and do Expedition House first. I realize it's not implemented in this version of the game, and for all I know, the rest of the stuff in the game is not implemented yet. So we also have a couple of other games I'm going to be showcasing on the channel soon as part of the October Next Fest. A lot of these Next Fest game developers, these indie developers, they're small teams, many times just one person. They're creating cool indie games, and I'd like to showcase a few of them if I can. A lot of them have sent me keys, and you know, I don't show everything. If I look at your game and I just don't really care for it, or I don't think I can give a really positive experience for it just yet, and sometimes maybe it's just too early. But if that ends up being kind of the way it is, then I oftentimes just won't play it, because I would rather not play it than to play it and give a negative impression. You know what I mean? So, but there are some people who would actually rather me just play it because my impression may not match yours. And if you never heard of it, then you can't, I'm kind of taking that decision away from you. So if you have any thoughts on that process, let me know. But essentially, I tend to focus on the games that I feel that I will, be able to contribute a positive image to. That goes with sponsored stuff too. If any game developers ever sponsor a video for their game, I actually do turn down a lot of those, and it comes down to whether or not I think I can give a positive image for that game. I'm not going to take your money and then give you a subpar experience, give you something that's not good. So if something is sponsored by me, if you see it in the beginning of the video, where it's like, this is sponsored by Paradox or whatever, there's a higher than 100% chance that I genuinely enjoy at least most aspects of the game. And because I'm not going to, take a sponsorship and then say something negative. And I absolutely won't say something positive if I don't feel that way. So, all right, that monologue was really uncalled for, wasn't it? Yeah, nobody asked. Just play the game, monkey. Nobody wanted you to... All right, you're supposed to be dancing a different tune here. I do have Celsius. I got to give the Freedom Unit people a little bit of time here. So there, it's 48 Fahrenheit in the water now. It's February, year 4. And I don't know if it gets any harder than this. I do find the game is a little bit easy at the moment, but I think map changes would make it more difficult. I think, tweaking the settings for less resources to be there or spreading them out a bit, that might have an impact as well on difficulty if that's something for you. But I'm mostly just responding to questions. People have, asked these things. Solar plant seems cool. Collecting solar energy. I'm a big fan of solar power. Cages allows us the construction of holding pens for tuna prey. Ooh. Tier 2 food. Is that what this is? Build vital centers for our rescue operation teams. I don't think these are implemented yet, right? But I need this to progress to other stuff that might be. So I'm going to go with cages first, and then we'll do the water filtration. Got another pipeline leak. 49% malfunction rate on this. So I think what we can do to alleviate some of these pipe leaking is just to have more facilities. So like if the entire colony is dependent on one input, like say this right here, this socket right here is probably 42%, and this one is a higher percentage here as well, 49%. So I think what's happening here is, since we're drawing all the oxygen we need from these two sources, like there's a lot of output here, right? But if I was to have more than that, let's say 4 oxygen producers, and then, instead of half the colony's oxygen coming from this socket, only a quarter was, that would alleviate some of the pressure off of it, and then it would malfunction less often. If I understand how this is working, I think that's what I would want to do, right? Transport fever is another directive we can do. It costs 1 influence, and that is the last of our influence. So this is going to make the drones faster. We have 2 credits per engineer and taxes, which is great. We have 1 credit per drone and 1.5 credits per house. So we're making, looks like our directive cost is 270 a year. I wasn't aware that there was a cost to this, but there is. Okay, so it cost me 60 for the property tax. How much am I actually getting for that then? If this cost me 60 and I'm getting 1.5 per house, I think I'm losing money on taxes. Because we have 14 houses. Last I checked, 14 times 1.5 is lower than 60. So is this a bad directive to have? And then credits per drone is 1. We're getting 62. And this one costs 60. So this one's paying for itself. Doesn't seem like property tax is making me money. And then for engineers, it says we're getting 2 per engineer. And it looks to me like we have 15, so that's 30. And this one is costing me, I can't tell, it doesn't say. Let's go here. Costs 78 a year. Oh, wait, this is per year. Is the... Is this per year? I can't tell the terms on this, but weekly increase of 2 credits. Ah, okay. This is much bigger then. Okay, so again, it's not very clear until you mouse over it. So these credits are weekly, not, this is annual and this is weekly. So these are all very worth it. And that's probably why my income is 11,869 versus the directed cost of 270. Okay, so those are very worth it. Never mind. You can ignore me. Electronics, we have 25 of them. That means I can go ahead and do that, and I can do that, and I can do that. Congratulations, we're making a ton of batteries now. Yay! Oh, that's great. Cool. So, yeah, this is where our next dome is going to be, but I don't know if I'm going to build this yet or wait until I have these full first. But there's an advantage to having people live here, and that is that people actually have to, at least what it seems like anyway, people have to physically move about, and they don't move that fast. So this guy's coming from over here, and he's going to make his way over to a workplace where... Is he working at the trade place? Yeah, so maybe he's moving resources or something, but like it looks like he's actually busy doing things. Potentially. What are you doing? I'm kind of interested to see what they actually do. I don't see him moving anything around really right now. I know they have to go fishing, right? So they have to be close to these places because they come out of the dome and then they walk to work under the water. I would like to see some sort of like... I think it would be very good to amend this and to have some sort of a monorail system later so that I could have a central hub for people to live and then they could monorail out to where they're working, right? Like a train, underwater train, which would be awesome. And it'd be so easy to implement, I feel. Same as the pipes, just like, you could have it off the single model here. You could have it come up in like this halfway model or this halfway layer. I don't know if future buildings are gonna be like this, but see this area right here in the model? It's kind of like, it's up high enough to be over top of all the buildings, but still lower than the domes themselves. Even this right here would be okay, this little area here. But I'm saying there's room to have another layer on top of the pipes in which you could have people transporting and have like a monorail system that allows people to move around. That is, of course, if it's required that people move around. I know most of the labor underneath the water here outside on the surface level, most of this labor is drones. But no, it's just like, it's just a thing I was thinking about. Like this trade place, it looks like these are transport drones, so we don't need anybody there. But this is, these are drones, okay, these are drones. Yeah, so it looks like pretty much every place is drones. They don't actually fish. The gatherers are drones, the sponge plants are drones, the mining is drones, pretty much everything is drones, I guess. That's what it looks like. Apologies for any noise you might hear. There's some people down here right now. Yeah, so drones, and drones. So I guess I'm wrong. People don't actually work. I actually don't see any building where people work. So does this mean that people only work in dome? And if that's the case, then I guess you don't need it. But it's also a little disappointing. I thought people were working outside because like they're walking around. So I figured they were doing that, but. Well, I guess I'm taking this opportunity in this video to just sort of more closely examine the game and just kind of learn a little bit about the intricacies of how things work and just also just get the UI out of the way just to check out the modeling on how everything moves together because it's very... I just think it's very cool how everything just sort of moves. Every building has some sort of animation going on with it. It's not just a static structure with lights. And even when it is a static part with lights, they're like blinking. You know, like this building here is, I think might be, well, okay, we got something up here. These are moving. Yeah, it's like every building has some sort of animation in it. What about the depots? I mean, it doesn't have to, of course. Well, the depots do because this opens up and the resources, and look, it's already spinning right here, right? So this is going to open up and either receive from these submarines or drop off supplies. So there is that too. All right, let's stop yapping and start focusing here. So sponges, looks like we're just a hair short. That's what it's looking like anyway. But we're good on batteries, we're good on clothes, good on medicine, good on food, and we're excellent on income. So it looks to me like our shortage right now is a little bit on tools. And I will need to get these quartz, glass, and concrete. And to get those, I think it's just research, right? Rescue center. Let's take a look at the expedition. Public buildings. Okay, so we researched this, but we can't do it because it's not in this version of the game. The rescue center, however, is. It says the central base of our rescue operators that search for the survivors on the surface. The rescued people are considered legal immigrants and as such automatically join your colony. So this building is going to let us rapidly grow how many people we have. So that's pretty good. We will use that. And then there's the warehouse. We have to research that. And then there's cages for the tuna. Let's go. Let's do it. Whoa. Is this a custom? Oh, where do these go? I have to draw it, but maybe I have to start. Oh, I see. I see how this is. Oh, wow. Look at this thing. It goes off this direction. Yeah, it goes off this direction. So it seems like the... Yeah, it's getting... Wow. Does the cage have to be huge? It looks like the cage has to be enormous. Oh, stretch the cage over the abyss. Oh, we can actually use the abyss. This changes everything. Oh, sweet. All right, hold on. That's why it's... Oh, okay. And are you gonna let me build this? Rotate, rotate, rotate. Plastic. We don't have enough plastic. We have enough here. Oh, it's these two tiles right here. That's what's messing it up. Because this is not abyss. All right, this is gonna work though. So we're gonna save from here to here and over. No? Not gonna let me? Why? Well, that doesn't make any sense. It was working. Does the whole thing have to be? There it goes. Oh, look at this cage. Oh, that looks cool. Okay, so we're gonna build this. We can actually use the abyss now. Very cool. I can probably do the same thing over here then. We'll just get another food cage. And we will go ahead and stretch this over. I don't have enough plastic, but I can still trigger it. I like how the, like if I stretch it over here, let's say like this right here, right? It moves to have it, yeah, like that. So I can have this be way out here, and it just sort of like puts the building as far over as it can put it, which I think is awesome. But it won't allow me to do this until I have enough plastic, so I have to wait. But how cool is this, man? Assign fish. Okay. So mariculture plan. We're gonna get tuna. Thank you. And we're using a ton of power. 148 power. 986 credits of upkeep a year too. So this is expensive. And we don't have enough power for this. So we're not gonna be able to use this until we do have enough power. And I think I could add more of these, don't get me wrong. I could, and I can go ahead and do production boost on these to see if it matters. Maybe this will give us what we need. It looks like it will. Oh yeah, production boost on these are gonna help out a lot actually. We'll just do this. Now we're up to 114 spare power. And there we go. And we'll just go do all of it. There, so these are maxed out. I think that's all of our power, to be honest. I think I only did 5 of these everywhere. So that's all of our power, but now we have 178 spare. It's very good. Okay, so now we'll take this pipe. As disorganized as it is. Don't you guys love how I'm just zigzagging this thing everywhere? Unfortunately, my days of zigzagging are over. Yeah, it is unfortunate. I really, really, really want to move this. I don't like where it is. I want to rotate it so that the walkway is this direction. But I mean, everything is just too close together here. And yeah, going back and doing it over again definitely would have changed it. But since I'm also the king of spaghetti anyway, I wouldn't say I'm the king of spaghetti, but I do an awful lot of spaghetti. We will go ahead and... Oh, I can't even plan this until I have the plastic. Yeah, I think they need to allow me to place the plans. Well, actually no, because the pipes build instantly, don't they? I still would like a planning mode. That way I wouldn't run into this problem. I probably wouldn't run into this problem if I just adapted and, you know, succumbed to symmetry that people want. The solar plant's here, and then Union's deal will result in voluntary 10% decrease in salaries, which is pretty good. I think that's going to be more meaningful than the tax per household, so I might swap that out. Let's do solar plant. We'll get an extra power source, and then I have 109 plastic now, so that should hopefully be enough. So let's bring this over, and we're going to bring this all the way across like this. I don't want to demolish any of these sponges. Let's do this in a way where it won't demolish the sponges. There. Okay, so that gave us the spare power we needed, and it's running now. And look, now we only have 29 spare power. But this cage, man, it's gonna collect. It's gonna get stuff. I don't know how that works. It just does. They get in, but they don't get out. Okay. And then subsurface base 3 will grant additional influence. And then we can go over here, start looking at quartz. Yeah, there's glass and all these other things that we need. Okay, good. I'm digging it. All right. So we didn't do a whole lot in this video. You know, I added battery capacity, which we desperately needed, and now we're way over. We're very good now. We started to create the furniture, so people have some of their luxuries and stuff that they'd like. We have decorations, so you can have some of those luxuries that they like. And, you know, we maybe traded for a few things. We added some directives, so we're making a lot more money than we used to be. We have 1,800 credits, which is great. We need to make money because that's everything research is. Everything is money, just lots and lots of money. We increased our plastics production by adding additional drones. Therefore, we added drone capacity today too. I did this before the video, of course, but added more houses, which turns out to be not as needed. It did say 0 empty when I did this. And now that people have sort of merged in and formed families, a lot of times 2 individuals will get together, they'll form a family, and then, you know, they take a house together as opposed to being separate. So it actually frees up a house when they do that. That's kind of nice. At least that's the way it looks anyway. Because that said 0, I added 4, and now we have 5 spare houses. So the only other thing I can think of is that people actually age and die, which might happen. I don't know. Yeah, so we did some things. And then the tuna cages, right? The tuna cages. And we're going to do more of that too. But I also have solar power starting. And then I've kind of walked you through my plan for additional domes as they're going to like sort of mesh in with each other like this right here. We can get additional farms going and maybe allow me to do even more mariculture if that's possible. Here's the solar plant, 100 plastic. That's going to be expensive. We are still, I think, a little bit lacking in the tools. I think I could maybe do tools a little bit faster. But I do have upgrades to do to the tool places still. So I may not need extra tools if I can just afford the plastic that's needed for boosting these. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let it run for a little while. I'll boost these things as I need to. And we have tuna now, and we'll go from there. So thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. I think we're probably going to take a look at quartz and stuff soon. I got to imagine maybe these red areas, right? It says you can't build, but, you know, maybe we can get quartz in these rocks or something, right? We can't build, but we can build into them sorts of things. Or maybe we get the quartz from just ore-rich areas. It's possible as well. So anyway, that's it. Thanks, guys. We'll see you in the next video, hopefully. I hope you guys are enjoying this. Bye-bye.